Hello there. Hi. How's it hanging?
Hi.
Hi. Hello.
How you doing?
What up?
Christopher.
Pissed off her? What?
Isn't that your name?
You said pissed off her.
Oh, I said Christopher.
Who did you piss off?
Oh, did you piss off live studio audience? Yes. Who did you piss off? Yes.
Welcome to the Jersey Nerds Podcast, your home for debates and discussions surrounding sports uniform design, hockey jerseys, and more. Today on the podcast, we're planning to talk about a few different hockey-related unveilings, none of which are in the NHL. They're all in other places, as a number of teams have had jerseys, alternate jerseys, logo sets, uniforms, whatever, unveiled. And it's cool new stuff that we want to talk about. So we're going to talk about it, and you're going to listen to it. How's that sound? No? Hunter says no? Okay. Let's see how it is. I want to kick it off with a stupid question that, considering we're recording pretty late in the day and on a weekday, I'm kind of scared of the answers we're going to get to this. But let's just start it off and ask, what did everybody have for breakfast?
Ooh. Nothing.
Corn cob. I had one corn on the cob. That
You
was
ate
technically
corn
my
on the
breakfast.
cob for breakfast? What?
I think it was about 4 p.m. But
You ate breakfast at 4 p.m.?
breakfast is the first meal that you eat in a day. So technically that was my breakfast.
After
4 p.m.
Okay, now this is an interesting question. Is breakfast the first meal you have after midnight? Or is it I would assume it's the first meal you have after waking up from night, or waking up at a time reasonably close to morning.
I feel like there's a time limit on when breakfast exists. It'd be like the first 4 or 5 hours after you wake up, maybe.
Well, yeah,
Okay,
but like,
so the definition is a meal eaten in the morning, the first of the day, which kind of conflicts because it could be your first of the day, but also not in the morning.
No, it doesn't conflict. You make it conflict because you have a shitty sleep schedule. That's different.
That is true. But I mean, breakfast means like breaking a fast, which means like whenever you fast overnight and don't eat, you know?
Yeah, within reason. Not for people that wake up at 4 in the afternoon, people.
Well, I never said my sleep schedule is good.
I assume you woke up before 4 p.m., but you just ate at 4 p.m. It depends on how you look at it. If we're going it by the way I usually classify breakfast, which is the meal I eat before noon after waking up.
Look, there's the definition, guys.
His breakfast reference images.
Hey, guess what? I have a new thing where I can live feed us reference images, provided that it works in editing and everything. This is our first time trying it, so
okay, let's clarify something
give
here.
it a break.
If you eat something at 4 a.m. and you're getting up and going to work or getting up to go for a run to start your day, that's breakfast.
If you just woke up, correct.
If I just woke up, yes.
If you're eating something at 4 a.m. and you haven't gone to bed yet from the previous night,
midnight
then
snack.
That's not breakfast.
Also correct.
It's a midnight snack. Wow.
So what category does yours fall in, people?
You mean 4 p.m.? Well, like I woke up, I think around 1.
He ate late afternoon. This guy ate supper.
If your breakfast is after 12, it's not breakfast anymore. I'm sorry, it's not. It's not. After 12, no.
It is because I'm breaking my fast.
Anyway, depending on... If I'm going off of how I classify breakfast, which is the first meal I eat after waking up before noon, I didn't eat breakfast. I didn't eat until I went for lunch at work today. So, if we're going off the first meal I ate after waking up, I had Wendy's for breakfast at 12:30. Enjoy, everyone. I had a Dave's Double and chili cheese fries, and I'm living the life. I'm living the life everybody wishes they were living. But I still classify myself in the first group of I didn't eat breakfast, I had lunch, and I had dinner.
You see, I thought my answer was going to be pretty bad because, like, what did I like? Because I wake up usually like 6:30, and like in the morning. I don't usually get up or do anything, but like eventually, pretty soon after I'll eat something before 8 usually. And I think what I've had around, I might have had all the breakfast the past few days kind of blend together. I might have eaten a Pop-Tart. I think I had some sort of bar, some sort of protein bar kind of thing. But the most interesting thing I had, which I'm like, I'm still hungry, I'm going to try this, is at the store. I found a little Aunt Jemima brand pancake in a cup. Now that I think of it, it sounds like Wally. Cut now breakfast in a cup. Where it's just the pancake like mix in a little container, and you just add water and put it in the microwave, and it makes. It's obviously not a round flat pancake, but it honestly,
try it though.
Like the only sad thing was that I didn't have any syrup. But like other than that, it was pretty good. Like honestly, like I mean, if I was a more well put together adult, I probably would have just gotten some pancake batter or whatever and actually made like an actual pancake. But no, like microwave's the way to go sometimes,
That's wild. I want to try one of these.
Hey Beepo, what's that a picture of?
It's a picture of something we're going to talk about later.
Oh boy, foreshadowing!
I didn't realize that was going to show it on the screen. I'm trying to set up the reference images.
Yeah, be careful what you show on your screen, kids.
Whoa, hey.
What? That's good advice. You never know what might...
Just get one of those privacy protectors that blacks out your screen unless you're looking directly at it.
That just makes you look sketchy.
Well, I mean, if you have to worry about what you're showing on your screen, then you're sketchy. You know?
Speaking of sketchy, Skechers.
I love
Speaking of Skechers, athletic shoes. Speaking of athletic shoes, athletics. Speaking of athletics,
I feel like
jerseys. Speaking of jerseys,
I feel like the shorter way to do this would have been speaking of Skechers, graphic designers. Speaking of graphic designers, new brands. Oh wow!
Skechers aren't a new brand, you weirdo.
But Skechers are people that sketch.
No, I was thinking like
you do when
Skechers.
And what do you do when you sketch? You're designing stuff. Anyway, I'll let you continue.
Anyway, we got some new designed, unveiled branding thingies to talk about. I'm going to talk about... let's talk about probably the biggest logo set unveiling in a little while. And yes, I'm comparing that to the other logo set unveilings that we've seen recently. That's the WHL's Portland Winterhawks, who for so many decades of their history, I believe since 1977, I saw recently, I believe since then, they've basically had a slightly different version of the Chicago Blackhawks look, both in their jersey set and in their logo sets, with, again, a Native American-inspired head on the crest of their jerseys and all that. This week finally changed that. The Portland Winterhawks have a new primary logo, as well as a secondary logo and a word mark as well. And so, shout out to graphic designer Brian Gundel, who I know the Portland Winterhawks collaborated with in order to create this logo set and to make something new and different that moves away from that past of theirs and something that they can really call their own, not just have copied from some other brand or some other place. Which I think I read at some point, reading up on this, that in the 70s they were just kind of gifted like an old set of Chicago Blackhawks jerseys, and so that's how that initially started with them. Again, their jersey template and look it was identical, to the NHL Blackhawks. But now they have their own identity, something they call their own, putting a new logo and crest on that jersey set. And so yeah, the primary logo is that of a winter hawk. It's a hawk. It's got a mountain on it, which I've heard some people say is Hood, which apparently is in Oregon. I've never been to Oregon, so I can't say. You still got it. I want to like. I like the. You still got some feathers on the back of the hawk head. It's pretty fierce looking forward. You've got an interesting looking secondary logo that has a P, a banner with Winterhawks above it, 2 hockey sticks, the year they were established, and you have a really nice looking word mark over there as well. So I'll make sure to link all those in our description so you can go see them and read up on them a little more. But what are our impressions of this?
But you don't need to go to the description if you're listening to the audio version, because look at that, there they all are. A little close to each other.
Yeah, I like how I was still talking about what their old branding was before, and you'd already put the new branding up. So, like,
yeah, there it is. I mean, come on, if you're listening to this, you know it by now. Let's be real here.
Surprise!
You're not listening to this and going, wait a minute, somebody unveiled something? What?
You don't know that. Maybe people actually listen to breaking news.
So are you saying that people don't learn anything and don't gain any value from listening to this? What are we doing here?
Probably. Yeah.
Wow.
My life is meaningless?
I mean, isn't all of our lives meaningless just about?
Time is a circle.
Wait, no it's not.
Clearly haven't been watching Loki then, because
I reject the theology of the MC.
People, what are your thoughts? Hit us. Well, I mean, hit us with your thoughts. Don't actually hit me.
One thing that I will mention as well, just for more context, I'm trying to find it. I don't remember where I saw it. They are still using Blackhawks jerseys just with the new logos on it. Which, to go into my thoughts now, I think the logo is fantastic. It's, a nice break, for one, from the Blackhawks, and for two, from the arguably, racist imagery. I'm not going to get into that argument right now. We're not going to talk about that. But the primary logo is, it's a hawk. I love the inclusion of the WH in the mountains at the bottom. There's something slightly awkward about the render to me. Maybe it's a little wide. I'm not sure. But the secondary logo and the word mark fit in really well. The only thing that I'm really disappointed about is that they're still using Blackhawks jerseys for some reason. Like, if you're going to go all out and, actually separate yourself for once, just go all out and do it, instead of sticking with the Blackhawks jerseys.
Yeah, I was really happy with it whenever they unveiled it. I liked the way they introduced the mountain to the bottom of the hawk's head. The feather tie-in's really nice too. I like that. The secondary mark, somebody on Twitter pointed out that it's like off center, and it's been bugging me ever since. I look at it and I'm like, it looks like it's weirdly placed, but like I don't know if it actually is. So it's been driving me nuts for the past couple days.
I see what you mean, because if you look at the sticks on top and where they fall on that curve, one of them is a lot closer to the end than the other.
Yeah. So it's
that's a little weird.
Awkward. Everything else about it on point though. I love the word mark, even though they don't get a lot of use, and the primary logo is gonna look good. This is the first I'm hearing about them still using the Chicago jerseys, so I didn't know that. I don't really know if I'm gonna like the way that this logo kind of lays out on a Chicago style jersey, but I guess we'll have to see.
Yeah, I had at some point somewhere on social media seen kind of these 2D flat, kind of mocked up images of what would be their new uniform set. And again, the striping is exactly the same, the color's the same. I do believe they use a slightly different number font on the back. It's a little more condensed. At least that's what these images show, instead of just a standard block, which would be better. But honestly, I think that's exactly the route to go, because you knew you were going to have a large part of your fan base that was going to be upset about the logo changing already, just because of tradition, history, associating with being a fan of that team in Portland. And so, I think managing to keep what we all agree is a incredibly successful and well done jersey design. Like, yeah, it's not like you're creating a new uniform set that copies off of something old. It's that you've had this old for decades and decades and decades, and you're changing a key aspect of it to actually make it your own, to make it fit with your brand, creating your own new team identity out of this. But it's definitely still tied to your history at the same time. And so I think that's, that they've done a very good job of balancing that. Yeah, as far as the logo, I mean, I'm a huge fan of the primary logo. I think the word mark's incredible too. It's because so many teams, a word mark, it can be just letters typed out. And thank you to Beepo, who has managed to discover and find that image.
They're not very good images, but they're images. It's from Schreiber Evan, at Schreiber Evan Schreiber on Twitter. I hope I pronounced that right. But he's a reporter in Portland. We'll have that linked in the description of that tweet. So it looks like he was at the event and took those photos, I would assume.
Evan,
there they are.
Yep, as I'd remembered, it looked like a slightly different, more condensed number font on the back, which is good. And looking at these at very small scale from a distance, the only thing that sticks out to me is how that so much white in the logo fits on the white jersey, which, you definitely lose that block of color in the middle, but obviously this is a huge step forward, a huge upgrade, in my opinion, as far as a full logo set. And yeah, considering how you've got hockey in northern Bay Area, California, you've got pro hockey up in Seattle, and then Portland's always kind of like the middle area between those, where you think, oh, what's there, but Portland's a good city, and it's good to know they have a great hockey fan base, and it was great to see a graphic designer, Brian Goodell, who's from Portland, I believe, at least lived there for a long time, to get to work on the Portland Winterhawks identity. So from a design perspective, we loved seeing that too. And yeah, I think they did an awesome job with this, because think how many directions they could have gone when they said, hey, we're doing a new logos. I feel like, I mean, it looks kind of like a snowy mountain to me, winter, hawks, haha, winter. Get it?
Haha.
The Hawks.
It's almost as literal as the Buffalo Sabres. It's Buffalo and Sabres. It's just winter and a hawk. I mean, that's not a bad thing, too. It works.
I was just looking through Evan Schreiber's tweets, trying to find the one that Beepo mentioned. And
I also put it in the podcast notes if you still looking.
But there's also another tweet where the Canmore Eagles retweeted it with their logo and are basically like subtly accusing of them ripping off their logo, and I don't really see what they're going for other than the fact that they both have eagle birds as their logos.
That's not even close.
Yeah, so it looks like the Canmore...
cool, you have a bird logo with a mountain in the neck.
So it looks like the Canmore Eagles are apparently, I'd never heard of them until right now, they apparently play in the Alberta Junior Hockey League, so they're way lower than that. Their logo, it's an eagle. It's an eagle facing, it's facing in the same direction. The angles of the logos are constructed the same, and you have a geographical landmark below in the bottom of it, but other than that, I see no similarities other than that, just those two small little
Not enough to justify
no, not at all. Like, you're deciding a sports logo, like...
If I was going to take any logo and say, this reminds me of this other logo, it would be Springfield Thunderbirds. They kind of have the same type of head shape.
Yeah,
the same profile, same head shape. Just flip it around, add some extra elements on Springfield,
Yeah,
somebody get mad on the phone.
I'm not accusing anybody of anything either. So.
Yep, next podcast will be McElroy v. Gundel, the heavyweight bout. Defending your honor.
One bird stays, one bird goes.
AHL versus WHL, who will get sent to design hell.
Love it.
But yeah, we're really happy to see logos and new fun things. Yay!
Yippee!
And let's stay in the WHL. For those of you who didn't know, that's the Western Hockey League, I think.
Yes.
It's one of them. It's one of them junior hockey leagues, like
They're both in the
That's
WHL.
what the WHL is. Yeah, it's Western.
yeah. It's one of them junior hockey leagues, like the OHL, right, and the QMJHL, right? Yeah, I got those. I think I got those right. I think I got them all.
They're all part of the CHL.
Too many HLs.
Three separate leagues under one big league.
Cool.
Yeah.
Anywho, in the WHL also are the Vancouver Giants. They did not release a whole new logo set, but they did release an alternate uniform that has an alternate logo on it. And both of those things are new. Isn't that fun? And Beepo, since you were so gracious to tease the image of that uniform earlier,
Yeah.
you have to tell us a bit about the Vancouver Giants and about this alternate uniform that they've unveiled?
Well, the Vancouver Giants are a team in the WHL. We just figured that out. And they unveiled this new jersey, and it is a black jersey with stripes on the hem, arms, and socks in a pattern. I am looking at a very tiny image of, actually I think I can exit this, of gold, black, gold, red, gold, black, gold. And a brand new logo of a giant in a side profile in gold and black with a red collar. And that's the Vancouver Giants. That's their new jersey. How'd I do, Chris?
Pretty good. Looking at tweets from the Giants themselves, they're describing this as the jackhead logo. And I don't know if you guys are more familiar. I don't have any knowledge of the Vancouver Giants logo history or if this is inspired by something else. By the way, yeah.
Well, it's a similar design as the head that's on their current logo already. Like, it's not even that different. The hat's the same.
Okay. Can we talk about can we talk about their current logo first? Because looking at it, it's kind of like a very angular looking shield, giants across the top of it, and this giant looking dude on it with a hockey stick and a way bigger forearm and bicep than his head.
The biggest forearm.
Like, that arm is concerningly big and the head is concerningly small. Anyway, what do we think? No? Cool. Alright. So, looking at the Vancouver Giants...
That's the current logo, and also it makes a G.
Kinda. Yeah. Anyway, looking at the Vancouver Giants, because I wasn't super familiar with their brand. Like, I kind of thought they had, maybe at a different time they had a different color scheme, but like, this is not what I thought they looked like. Looking at their entire jersey set, I hate these. I absolutely hate their jersey set because they have not quite full leg. It's just the way their yoke look. It goes from the shoulder into the sleeve. You have the side paneling on their jerseys. There are just a lot about their uniform set that I absolutely hate. Piping, it's just the whole mess of stuff that does not look great. And so, I think we can agree that this is an objectively good-looking hockey jersey. They're alternate, the black one with the big red strap in the middle and the little gold straps around it. Perhaps it took a little inspiration from the Sabres 50th anniversary jersey. Am I crazy for thinking that? Because I think the striping is very similar, if not identical, to that. And I don't think the Sabres were the first to do that striping, but that's what comes to mind for me when I think of that.
I actually hadn't noticed that, but you're right. It does look pretty similar.
Yeah, but again, like we know it works. Yeah, their middle stripe's a little thicker, and the gold stripe's maybe a little thinner. But either way, like it's similar jersey to that. Compared to the rest of their set, it's excellent. And compared to their primary logo, that jackhead logo is also excellent and way better than anything they currently have. So yeah, this is sleeve strapping matches the socks, and that's really all you can ask for. Again, it's an all-black alternate uniform, so I know Bebo's probably going to be mad at it a little bit, but when it comes to making a hockey jersey, there's not much else you can ask for here that isn't there. So
I mean, it's a black uniform, so I go into it cautiously. And there's not a ton of color, so I worry about how it's going to look on the ice. However, the jersey, it's actually, I honestly, I want to like it. I love the way that the gold and the red work together, and I love the way that I say that I do right now, tentatively. Again, I don't know how it's going to look actually on the ice and seeing it from a distance, but the gold and the red work really well together, and it pairs really well with the black, and it's honestly a nice logo. I mean, granted, I don't see it as much. I mean, I guess I kind of get it, but I've seen some people compare it to this. But I mean, they're still called the Giants, so I don't know what else you can really do. So I'm fine with it. I think it's a well rendered logo, and honestly, looking at it, this is kind of almost what we'd hoped for with Ottawa, huh? The Senators.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
a little bit of a different color balance, but
yeah, I mean, like I said, a million times before, I just want them to use gold more. So this is if Ottawa came out with a jersey like this, 2 days ago before Vancouver did, I'll take it.
Honestly, just this with red cuffs could be good for Ottawa. Red cuffs or something like that.
Yeah.
But anyways, this is the Vancouver Giants, and I like it for now. But I'm still cautious because I don't know how it'll look on the ice. But it looks great from up close.
Yeah, overall, they did a really good job balancing the colors. The stripes are all consistent, which is all we ever ask for when it comes to most jerseys. So I'll take that. I love this logo compared to their current one. The only thing that bugs me about this jersey is something that's not even in their control. It's that stupid CCM collar and that stupid carbon fiber pattern that they have on those collars. I hate them so much. And it's just the only drawback I have on this jersey is just that stupid plasticky material collar that CCM uses on all those jerseys. But otherwise, it's bueno.
I mean, as far as looking at the template of the collar, they designed it perfectly. They did nothing wrong with the design of it. So.
Yeah, they did the best they could with what it is. Yeah, 100%. But it's just that CCM and they do it with all their jerseys because I have the Belleville one behind me. It's got the same thing, and it's just trashola.
Yeah, I mean it's no. I mean, it's one of those sad instances where your alternate jersey is going to be way better than your primaries.
However, maybe that'll inspire them to change down the line. That happens with a lot of teams.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. I feel like if they changed it to the primary logo, that you'd have to put a red outline around it after that point, I feel like, because there's no red in it at all. And if you're going to keep red as your team color, you might have to do that.
Yeah, it could probably use adjusting for a primary, but I mean, that's down the line if they decide to do it. Who knows?
I thought you said adjusting, Justin.
I miss Justin.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Justin.
Rest in.
He's not dead. I just missed him.
No, R.I.P. Rest in polenta.
Polenta.
He's just in a vat of polenta right now. That's why we couldn't reach him. You know what happens?
What is polenta?
You don't take polenta baths? What the heck, Hunter?
What is polenta?
I don't know what polenta is either.
Jeez, God.
And I don't know if I'm getting bamboozled right now or not.
Are you just making words up?
We all have internet connection.
I don't want to Google it. I'm scared.
Oh my gosh. It's food, you dinguses.
I was going to say, I feel like I'm getting Candace right now.
Oh, polenta recipe. All right. Boiled cornmeal? What?
It's a side dish that people make in various ways.
That is not how I was expecting polenta to be spelled.
Someone telling me it's boiled cornmeal makes it doesn't sound appealing, but some of these pictures,
it looks good.
It looks good.
But I don't. Yeah. Huh.
I mean, imagine maybe like grits, I guess, if you're a Southern person or something. It's like creamier, not creamy couscous, but like I don't know. It's got that texture.
Creamy couscous ain't doing it for me. Like,
it's
like creamy couscous. Oh, well, then I'll never eat it. Like,
yeah, I want some creamy couscous.
oh my god. Episode title insert here.
Oh gosh, that's not. Let's move on to more minor league hockey. Except we get to move up a level. Guys, we graduated.
Yeah.
We moved up from the WHL to the AHL, which is just below the NHL. Woohoo!
We may have moved up, but their brand didn't.
Yay!
Foreshadowing.
Yay. So, the Vancouver Canucks have an AHL affiliate, which used to be the Utica Comets in Utica, New York. They had previously announced that their Utica Comets would be, at least as I'm reading here, I don't remember it because I know there was some complicated thing that was happening with New Jersey as well. I don't even remember what that was. But either way, their affiliate will now be in Abbotsford, British Columbia. And so everybody's like, oh, what's the team going to be? What's it going to be? It's the Abbotsford Canucks. The least inventive name you could have gone with. So we're not really here to talk about the name.
And like the other week, we went over a ton of names that all would have been better. I think, like even the ones that were bad would have been better than this.
Yeah, so we're not here to talk about the team name because it's just like it's the same. It's boring. It's a cop out. Whatever. We're going to talk about the team logo because the logo they decided to go with Canucks. Thankfully, they didn't copy just the parent team logo. I need to look at it. Are there any AHL teams that are doing that? I'll look at that.
I think there are some that like copy it, but not like the exact.
I'm looking exactly. There are any teams that exactly copy their parent team?
I mean, like Belleville Sens, kinda. Henderson, kinda.
Thankfully, there are none.
But like Providence, kinda. None of them use
none of them exactly. That's
none of them use the exact same logo.
Good. Either way, the Utica Comets are now the affiliate of the New Jersey Devils, and they switched their colors around, same logo, whatever. But the logo of the Abbotsford Canucks, we got to talk about. Because it's none other than a logo that I have been wanting to see on an alternate Canucks jersey for a long time. It's technically a Canucks alternate logo. Technically it has been. And I don't... You guys can probably help me with the history of this logo and like in what capacity it was used in before. But either way, the logo is the one affectionately referred to and commonly referred to as Johnny Canuck, featuring the bearded man in a toque. I forgot how Canadians say that. How do you say toque? What?
No, a toque is something you do. A toque is something you do with something else. But
wait, no, we can't say that on here.
Nowhere on your head. I didn't say it. I alluded to it. It's different. I stopped myself. I made the gesture.
It's the skating, bearded lumberjack looking man known as Johnny Canuck, and that's the Abbotsford Canucks primary logo. That's the one that's on the jersey. We have a look at one of their jerseys at least it'll be one of their primary jerseys, I suppose.
Only one.
I only saw one.
I don't think the Canucks actually ever used Johnny Canuck on anything. I think he was just like a alternate logo that they had, and they're sitting there.
I'm pretty sure they used the version that was like the V with the head sticking out as a shoulder patch, at least on the old alternate, I believe.
Yeah.
I don't think they were using
on the original stick and rink alternate, yeah.
Yeah.
So looking at just Wikipedia, which is the easiest thing to go to and look at, the Canucks originally used a rendition of that logo when they were part of the Pacific Coast Hockey League and the Western Hockey League before they joined the NHL in 1970. They changed the logo when they joined. And apparently back then the logo was known as Chuck Canuck, not Johnny Canuck. Which I get, which makes a lot more sense, honestly. It's kind of weird. Anyway, it was reported here at least that the Canucks they reintroduced him as a shoulder patch of their third jersey in 2008. So they technically had used it a little
That's
bit.
the original Edge, or that's the first original stinking
with
stinking rink. Yeah.
The stinking rink.
Stinking rink.
Gosh dang it. Anyway, so we have a look at the fact they're using that logo, and at least some mock-ups of the jerseys, not the full uniform set, but at least the jerseys that we'll have. So we have no color, no idea what the equipment's going to be. At least I don't have any idea unless you guys have seen something. But other, yeah, that one with just his decapitated head, or maybe they turned his body into a V. That's even creepier. Anywho,
if that's an attempt at a human body, that's a very horrible one. I'm pretty sure it's.
I'm concerned for that person that they used as reference.
Either way, how are we feeling?
Well, for me, as a person that, like Chris, wanted to see this on an alternate for a very long time, I look at these and I go, "Thanks, I hate it." I can appreciate I can appreciate the little details, like the putting the A on the sleeves. That's kind of like an homage to Vancouver when they had the V's on theirs. You know, right. I can appreciate those. I can't even hate that. Striping's okay. I don't really like the striping on the white jersey as much. I'm not sure why. There's just something about it. I think it's the fills on the sleeves. I don't know. The big thing that bugs me, and you can't see it in the mock-ups that we have in the reference images here, but you can see it in the photo that they have on the article about it. That logo is way too high, and I hate it. And it's driving me nuts. And I hope that that's just because they kind of threw it on there quickly. But
no.
When you say article,
sorry, here I can send it. I can send you guys the picture so
if you send that, I can put it in.
Here, I'll send it here.
Well, at least there's one image that the Abbotsford Canucks released where you have like 4 kids and 3 adults that are.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about.
Posing.
That's the one I'm talking about.
And taking a photo.
Like Jim Benning is standing there, and that logo is touching his chin. Like, I hate it. I don't like the placement of the logo at all.
Johnny Canuck got hot.
I don't know. It might just be the logo. They might have just quickly thrown them on there for the photo shoot. I don't know. I can't really think of an excuse that really warrants the fact that it looks like that. So I'm worried, to say the least. But otherwise, like, I don't know. I can see what they tried to do. I'm glad that they went with a green base on their home, trying to stay at least a little different from Vancouver. But otherwise, like, I don't know. Yeah, whelmed is a pretty good way to put it, Beepo. I think you nailed that.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if I'd look into that too deeply yet, having the logo so high up. But yeah, I see what you mean. It's really high up. Let me put that in there right now. Yeah, it's a little high up, close to the chest. Overall, yeah, I'm very whelmed with the logo itself and the brand. Like, we went over kind of names that they were thinking of, and I think just about all of them are better than this. I'm not a big fan of teams that just directly rip off their parent club. And, like, the logo is something we've seen for the Vancouver Canucks before, so it was just like, there's nothing new to this. The jerseys, however, like, on their own, I like a lot better. The white one is alright. I mean, it's nice. The striping is okay. I'd love to see a bit more green on it. And I didn't necessarily realize that was an A in the striping, but I love that as the nod to the Canucks. It's like Henderson, how Henderson does it perfectly, where there's ties, but it's not a ripoff. The jerseys here to me are ties, but not a ripoff. And the green jersey, I love all the way through. I love the shade of green. I love the striping, and I love the A in the sleeves. I think it works wonderfully. Just change the logo around, and I mean, even if you want to call yourself the Canucks, fine. Just change your logos and do something original. I mean, it's better than them just using the Canucks primary logo, but they still could have gone another step with the logo, I think. But the jerseys, I think, are wonderful, mostly.
Yeah, things I'm happy about here. I love seeing, a green jersey. I love that this logo is getting some use somewhere. and is going to be prominently featured for some way in some team. I think that's great to see. The striping on the green jersey, it looks like it was based off of the green jersey that Utica had previously had. It's not exactly the same, but it's pretty similar. I don't know where the striping of that white jersey came from, and the main thing I'm concerned about here is the equipment of the rest of the uniform, because if it seems logical with that green jersey, you go with blue equipment, you go with blue pants and gloves and all that. On the white jersey, the green is gonna be almost gone, almost non-existent. You'd assume, if they go to a similar number style as the Canucks, which you assume they would. So the color balance of the uniform itself definitely worries me. So that green jersey is definitely the winner here. I don't know why they wouldn't make the primary color the white and green if they're most likely going to go with blue equipment. And then even though the word mark's overwhelming as well, just because it's basically the same as the Canucks, and you have this really weird balance between the Abbotsford and the Canucks, where at least in design, if you have the same font and you have two different sizes, but they're like similar enough, there's not enough contrast between them, you get a little conflict, visually. So it's fine, it works. So yeah, I'm happy to see this color scheme. I'm happy to see the green being featured. I'm happy it's not a carbon copy of Vancouver, because that's what we never want with a affiliate team. But yeah, overall.
The striping on the white jersey reminds me of the Canucks sort of that weird third jersey they had that they unveiled for their 50th, and also the original set with the really thin middle stripe and the two thicker outer ones.
Yeah, but it's it is, but it also isn't,
Yeah, except that middle one now has an outline around it as well. It's kind of weird, but that's got to be the inspiration, right? What else would they have taken that from?
Yeah. I mean, I think equipment-wise, an easy fix would have been to keep the green fills from the home on the white, at least on the sleeves. I don't really know what they would have done for them.
That would have been way better, I think.
Yeah, just keep the green fills from the sleeves on the white jersey. I don't know what they would have done with the hem. Velcro cuffs! I don't know what they would have done with the hem, because that might just be too much white. I don't know. With blue pants, it probably wouldn't look too bad. But at least you'd have the green on the sleeves. I don't know. Probably a better route to go than what
honestly,
they did anyway.
You probably could have just taken what they had on the sleeves of the green jersey and just put it straight on the hem of the white jersey, or you know what I mean. If you had the white jersey, it's just the Velcro cuff the green jersey, and then just take that striping pattern and put it directly on the hem.
Yeah.
And you would have had a cohesive set.
If you yourself have a better idea for the Abbotsford Canucks uniform set, make sure to send your ideas into our Concept Corner. You can go to the Concept Corner submissions channel on our Discord, or if you don't want to join that, you can email them to jerseynerdsmedia@gmail.com, and you could be featured in our weekend Concept Corner posts. Well, they're supposed to be on weekends.
Why would you want to join the Discord? That's where all the fun stuff is.
They're supposed to be on weekends, but for some reason Noah just put one out in the middle of the week recently. We're just really? I mean, I get you. You
feel Noah just kind of does what he wants to do.
As long as he's getting them out, I don't care.
Honestly, yeah.
Send in your concepts.
We appreciate you.
Jersey Nerds Concepts.
You get that logo, people.
Google images.
Oh, okay.
Look, I'm live feeding stuff in. I don't have time to prepare super nice looking things right now. I'll do that for next episode, because I found out a way that I can actually prepare stuff. It's look, I can go back to this now. I still have this scene in there. And this one. And this one. I have all these saved now. And now I've learned that I can do that for next time.
You're telling everybody our secrets.
Shout out to Beepo for acting. Shout out to Beepo for acting as both producer and on-air talent simultaneously. We very much appreciate it. What a man, what a man, what a man. Okay, and let's stay in the AHL as we're going to finish up, at least our last scheduled thing. We have the Milwaukee Admirals, who recently unveiled, well, for a while they were teasing a third logo, a third logo, and then they had a third jersey to go with it. Oh, boy. And so we get to talk about the logo and the jerseys. I say jerseys because they released mock-ups of 3 different ones, even though there's only one jersey that they're actually wearing on the ice. But anyway, let's talk about the Milwaukee Admirals, who made a faux back logo and a faux back jersey. For those of you who don't know, faux back means fake throwback. It's not a throwback because throwback means using something that was used in the past. It's a faux back because it takes elements of a team's history or past identity and kind of reconstitutes them, reimagines them in a different way. It's not a mashing of errors, it's just imagining something different that could have existed from that era or that looks like it would have existed around that time. Got it? Good. Because we're moving on. Milwaukee Admirals, normally their color scheme now is kind of a dark blue and a light blue. I guess a nice two-tone blue is their normal color scheme. But they've unveiled a third logo that takes their throwback colors. And I had to look up their history a little tiny bit because starting in the 19 they've been around since the 70s, I believe. They were in the IHL, I believe, and then eventually came into they were in a number of different leagues, but eventually became part of the AHL, I believe, in the early 2000s. When their logo history has it's gone a number of different places and changed around a bit. But they started off with dark blue and red, kind of patriotic looking colors, and so they have unveiled a third logo based off of that, and it exists on their third jersey. Isn't that fun? Doesn't that make sense? Cool. Great. Let's talk about the logo itself first, and then we can move on to the jerseys. Because this logo features a skating admiral, and when they say admirals, it's usually kind of pirate looking inspired. I don't think it feels kind of piratey. I guess that's just because their primary logo is usually a skull with an admiral hat on. So I guess this one's alive, so it's not dead. That's a good change for them. You have a forward skating admiral in dark blue, red, and vintage white. That's cream or beige, off-white. For those of you who don't know, I mean, if you listened before, you should probably know by now what we mean when we say vintage white. You got a nice A on the cap. You got a kind of Pat Patriot looking kind of guy, kind of determined, forward looking, not angry, but he's got those things on his shoulders. I forgot they're called. He's got hockey gloves. He's got a hockey stick. He looks kind of like one of those like a 1700s militiaman illustration kind of guy. And yeah. So let's talk about just the logo first, and then we can move on to the third jersey they put out with it. Gentlemen?
I really like it. I'm trying to gauge whether Beepo's just not gonna go because he's putting the image up, or if he's gonna go even though he's putting the image up. Either way, I'll go. In terms of just the logo, I dig it. I dig it. It's a pretty cool. It fits the faux back theme like to a T, and I really like that. Is this a logo that I would like to see them use full time? I don't know. Maybe. Kind of defeats the purpose of the faux back though, so I'd say no. I like their current logo anyways. I like the blue that they use a lot, so I don't know if I'd like to see that disappear. But yeah, for a third jersey and for something just for them to have a faux back because they felt like doing it this year, nailed it. It's a spicy jersey logo.
The logo is, it kind of just is what it is to me. It certainly fits the throwback theme. I guess looking at it, I thought it was more of looking at it more, I actually like it a lot more. It does look vintage, but it is well done. It's kind of like that Buffalo 2018 Winter Classic. The one where they updated the
where they
leaving
did
the one where they updated their primary logo. Yeah, it's kind of like that, where it's really well rendered, it's modernly rendered, but it has that vintage look to it, and there's a lot of good details here. I'm gonna try and put it up on the screen in just a second, but in the explainer here, I'm messing up a little bit. But yeah, I mean, it's a good logo, and it fits, so sure.
And then Beepo has put up a set of 3 jerseys on the screen here. And these were put out by the AHL account, not by the Admirals account. And just to be clear, the one unveiled the one unveiled recently by the Admirals is the one in the middle. The other 2 are we don't really know the connection. We assume those would be sold in retail. But it's the one in the middle, the cream one, that will be worn on the ice and was unveiled officially by the team. And so, yeah, I mean, as far as the logo, I love the look of this logo. I think it's so cool when they're able to take, things that didn't exist then and just like create them and say, hey, this could have existed back then, and it looks like it could have. How you're able to capture that style and really put it on something. And yes, people,
What?
you say something? Oh, you looked like you were talking. I don't know.
Oh, I was gonna say something after you, but
Oh. Anyway, I think this logo again is completely different from their other logo. I like their primary logo better. It's completely different, but it also like fits within the branding of the team and fits within the set. So I think if you're going for an alternate, this is the direction you want to go. Something inspired by history that doesn't copy your current look, but that also it's not just an exact throwback either. So yeah, as far as the third logo, great one. And then from there, Beaver can say what he wants, and we can talk about the jersey a little more.
see, to me, these jerseys, like, even though they're only using the white one, I see the whole set, and I just see Edmonton Oilers except red instead of orange. It literally just looks like the Oilers jersey. Like, there's not much differentiating it to me. And also what's confusing to me is that if you see these mock-ups, it looks like it's like a full yoke outline. But I saw this picture, and I couldn't find a good picture of it, so I just took a screenshot directly from their website. It's more like Boston's shoulder yoke that kind of cuts off at the end.
Yeah.
So I'd assume that's the real one that the dude's actually wearing, but...
It's funny that you say that, because I looked at the jersey, like, since we're kind of segueing into it now. I was like, this is just Winnipeg with extra steps. Because all they did was take Winnipeg's white Heritage Classic jersey, alternate whatever, and they just added that Boston style like striping to the front of their shoulder yoke. That's all it is.
Also, I guess I guess you're not wrong. Huh?
But at the same time, I want to make this clear. It's not a bad thing. Like, this jersey fits the look with the logo and everything. Like, it looks really good, and I'm not taking that away from it. It's just funny that like it's literally the exact same template.
I mean, I guess that is a fairly basic design anyways.
Yeah,
the Oilers have it, the Blackhawks kind of do. Yeah, I mean, the whole 3 stripes is kind of quintessential hockey, I guess, in a way.
Looking at the Milwaukee Admirals brand as a whole, I would say this is, for me at least, this is the best jersey they have in their set now, for sure. But it's definitely not as good of a color scheme. Their primary logo and color scheme are better, but their primary, blue and white jerseys, they fall short. Like, they're pretty sad. And so this is definitely way better. I like the choice of vintage white because I know AHL does light at home usually, right? I feel like they go back and forth sometimes. I feel like sometimes it's just kind of arbitrary.
Do they do the mid-season switch, or is that the ECHL?
They did. No,
There's a chance they do. Because I would say sometimes it feels like they're doing light at home, and other times it feels like they're not. So maybe they do. I've never looked into it that closely. By the way, I was going to say the decision to have a light colored jersey as your third one, I think is a good one for them as well, if that's the case. So, I think they did. It captures their history as well as being something new and different and cool, and that separates from their brand, but also extends their brand. I mean, I'm sure everyone and Justin misses the refrigerator logo they had.
That was a thing, yeah. I mean, I like in a vacuum, it's a good jersey design, but I cannot shake off that, especially with those 3 next to each other, that's just Oilers in red. to me. I can't shake that off. I mean, their primary jerseys, I think they're really nice jerseys, especially if you like modern designs. It's a well pulled off modern design, but I think it'll fit into their catalog well still, and hopefully eventually I can shake that off a little bit because I want to enjoy this jersey. I feel like I should.
Yeah, we were talking back in 2019. The Admirals had a logo mascot unveiled that was a skating refrigerator, which was pretty cool. Do we know who designed this logo? Because looking into that, I discovered that their primary logo set was designed by Dan Simon. Do we know who designed this third logo that we're seeing now?
Dan Simon did.
Dan Simon as well. So, hey, shout out to Dan. He's doing a great, killing it with the logo design game. So, yeah, I think as far as, they did a good job. And talking about the striping, like, oh, it looks like other... I don't think any one team can claim this kind of striping because, like, it's just so widespread and used. It's, so... I'm not mad at this at all. I think it's a little generic, but just like, if you're trying to do something that's, supposed to look like it existed. Yeah, Bebo's showing now the 2019 alternate jersey they had back then with
the fridge race from
talk about barrel chested, am I right?
Pretty cold joke there.
I thought so. Cold reaction.
Yeah, so the Admirals have had, I guess kind of a short history of pretty darn good old looking logos, and they have a great logo set too. So shout out to them. Even if your jersey looks a little generic, you can still pull it off. So yeah, I like how they did this for sure. I mean, okay, now the question becomes: do we like the fridge theme mascot logo, or do we like the skating Admiral logo as far as faux back looking stuff?
Skating Admiral.
Yeah, as much as we'd like.
I feel like the fridge is funnier. However,
unless Milwaukee is like the birthplace of fridges, like I just don't understand.
Yeah, I forgot the inspiration of that too.
Do we need to have a faux back throwdown?
Faux back,
gosh.
Faux down.
The real ones will remember the old throwback throwdown.
But yeah, this is I looking at that 2019. Yeah, this is the one they just unveiled is a better jersey, better looking logo on the vintage white jersey. It takes it. I'm sorry. Like, I don't think we even need to do an official one.
Honestly, I would much rather see the new logo on that old jersey.
Really?
Despite the inconsistency that bugs me a little bit, I feel like it just has a more vintage look to it, where I don't think the current one does as much because it's currently worn by, Edmonton, mostly. I'm sorry, I can't shake that. It just looks like Edmonton to me.
Unbelievable, people.
I'm trying to see, were there any images of them wearing that in action? Because it looks like it might have been unveiled in late 2019.
Well, I see I found a Reddit post that somebody actually just owns.
Okay, so looking at the sportslogos.net article from back then, November 22nd, 2019, the article written by Paul Caputo, Milwaukee Admirals celebrate refrigerators with 50th season logo. So it was a 50th season logo. It was a refrigerator one with that jersey. At the bottom of the article it says, the team will wear uniforms featuring the fridge logo April 4th against Rockford. April 4th, 2020. That game would never have happened. The pandemic would have shut everything down by that point. So Hunter managed to track down looks like a retail, or maybe it's a game image of the jersey. I don't know. But my point is, the ones with the fridge on it were never worn on the ice. I don't think.
Disappointing.
Wow. So either way, the one they just put out is still better. I'm sorry. That's my opinion, and for some reason, you're all listening.
I like the yoke on the old one better.
And you're wrong.
I like the yoke on the old one better. I wish that the sleeve striping was a little more consistent with the rest of it, but yeah.
And if you
Oh,
disagree,
I like the collar on the old one better too, because that was before CCM switched to the ones I just ripped earlier, because it's the same one and it sucks. CCM, if you're listening, change it because it sucks.
and if you disagree with us in any way, shape, or form, we're going to throw you in that particular fridge, and it's going to skate
And
around.
if you think I'm wrong, you're wrong, and I hate
And
you.
I mean, if you look at it too, it's got a handle on it, so it's one of those old-fashioned fridges before they realized that people suffocate in them. So you're not gonna be able to get out.
Oh,
Have fun with that.
You watch
Because like old
yourself.
fridges had those handles, and then they realized, oh wait a minute, kids would go in there and die. So we need to make a way for them to get out.
if somebody body checks someone while wearing that jersey, is it giving them the cold shoulder?
Stop.
I
Don't
just
ever
noticed
speak
the
to me.
refrigerator has like a
Don't speak to
tail
me or my
of an
son
outlet.
ever again.
The refrigerator has a little tail of a wire and a plug.
This is electrical cord tail, yeah.
Yeah, electrical cord.
Are you saying it has a butt plug?
No.
I mean,
Stop! Chris!
Am I wrong?
No, but why can't I make the weed gesture, but you can say butt plug, and that's perfectly fine?
Because it's an electrical plug we're talking about.
You know that's not what you meant.
That's exactly what I meant. It has an electrical cord hanging out of the fridge's butt. It's pretty obvious here.
Oh my god.
And please don't try that at home, kids.
Oh my god.
The results may shock you.
Yeah, they will.
Alright, so that does it for our minor league logo jersey looking rundown things. Talking about WHL, AHL. And yeah, we're excited to see what's ahead. It's nice to get to talk because I feel like when you're like, yeah, you get the most access to and the most focus on NHL stuff, but it's still cool to see what the stuff's being designed like everywhere else too. I mean, we're not as into minor league stuff as like Steve.
I feel like the minor league teams get to have a little more fun with their branding than the NHL teams do.
Yeah,
you know,
100%.
So like that makes it a little more exciting to talk about their stuff.
I also just realized you probably have to go back like a year in the podcast logs to like hear Steve on a podcast, so most people might not even know.
Who's Steve?
Who?
And why do they keep talking about him?
The guy from
United FC.
Steve United FC.
My favorite thing is that after we posted the last podcast, Steve replied on Twitter, "Is that what I am to you now? The obscure sports team guy, Steve. That's what you've been for a long time now.
For everybody, since HJC, you're that guy, my guy."
Yeah, Steve. Sorry to inform you.
You're that guy, pal. You're that guy.
You're that guy, pal. You're that guy. Yeah.
And welcome to the bonus part of the podcast, because usually at the beginning we ask, like, hey, what's everybody wearing? And we completely forgot. I have no idea what Hunter has on, so, like, Bebo, let's start with you.
I am wearing a Dallas Stars Reebok Edge home jersey, the green variety, the good variety, courtesy of our own Justin. He didn't give it to me. I purchased it from him and his jersey selling business just
Northern
recently.
Leaf.
Northern Leaf.
Northern Leaf
Indo
jerseys.
Authentic. And along with that, I am wearing my light blue and dark blue Pittsburgh Penguins hat that totally matches. Shut up.
I was literally expecting this man to tell us that he was wearing a second jersey underneath the Stars jersey. As soon as he said along with that, I was like, wait.
It's like the dude, I don't remember what game it was, but he just took off one jersey and the opposing team's jersey was underneath as soon as they started kicking the butts of the other team. I don't remember what two teams it was, though. I feel like Colorado was involved, but I don't know. Like before Colorado was good? I have no idea.
Maybe. That makes sense.
Hunter.
Me.
I have no clue what you have on.
I am
what
wearing,
even is that? I'm seeing this
St.
weird square
John's
yoke.
Ice
Caps. That's what it was.
St. John's Ice Caps alternate jersey. I'm pretty sure they only had it for one season because it was in that weird time where they were with Winnipeg and then they went to Montreal and then they disappeared. I think they're in like the OHL now, maybe. I don't know.
Did they move
kept
to
moving
Laval?
around.
Or did
Yes,
Laval
they moved to Laval. They became the
Okay.
Rocket. That's what happened. Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure if they moved or if the Rocket were kind of like one of those things where
No,
it's like,
'cause I
we have a new
remember
affiliate, but we're
they-
going to move them to somewhere else, or you know what I mean?
Because I
that kind of
remember
thing.
it was like just before all the teams started doing their AHL teams in like nearby, right? So Winnipeg had them in St. John's with their like original branding, and then Montreal bought them basically, and they just changed the branding to Habs colors, and then like the next season they were like, all right, we're moving you to Laval. It was like the same time that Binghamton moved to Belleville too, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, St. John's Ice Caps, baby.
Cool. And it's too hot here, so I'm just wearing a San Diego Seals National Lacrosse League polo shirt because the jersey's too hot.
Too hot for jersey.
Hey, Hunter, what's your hat?
This is my Bytown Apparel hat. It's a sample that I had made while we were deciding what we wanted to do for shirts and stuff. So you can't buy this. But maybe one day we'll have these leather patch hats that I got from a company in California. Pretty good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, since we're just this is going to be on the air, you might as well plug, other stuff. Go check out Bytown Apparel, BYTOWNE Apparel. Because Hunter is heavily involved in that, and so go check out some stuff. Go buy some stuff. Check out Northern Leaf jerseys. We promoted that a little bit. That's where Justin's kind of downsizing his collection a bit. He's got some pretty cool stuff in there. If you're in the market for a hockey jersey, you might want to look there.
I don't think he's downsizing his collection. I believe he's more just like kind of buying, selling, or something like that.
Yeah, he was buying some stuff. I think he's still downsizing, but he's been buying some stuff and flipping it now. Anyway, go check it out. Northern Leaf, Bytown Apparel.
Beepo, promote something. I don't know.
Go check out Beepo's Twitter.
Sure. Go check out my Twitter. Go check. I don't really tweet that much. I need to get back to tweeting more often.
Go check out.
There's a lot going on that I'm just like, I don't feel like tweeting.
Go watch the NWHL when it starts. Go follow the NWHL account.
Follow us. I indirectly tweet from that account more often, and by that I mean my designs get posted.
Cool.
Follow the Jersey Nerds on Twitter. That's what you should.
Yeah,
and Instagram.
Yeah.
Okay. And MySpace.
And I have absolutely nothing. So thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
No plug for Chris.
No, you said not to talk about the plugs anymore.
Shut the hell up.
And we just take a minute here to thank you all for listening, for watching on YouTube. We're hoping to get more than 10 views on this on YouTube, so share it and maybe one person will watch it. I don't know. Either way, thanks for sending in concepts, listening, reading whatever we put on the blog. We need to write more things.
We do.
Yeah, we're busy people, but we're going to try to write something else. Yeah, there's the tweet.
There's his tweet.
Yeah. If you're not following us on social media already, follow us _Jersey Nerds on Instagram and Twitter. That's where we're most active. Kind of more active on Twitter because it's easier to put things on Twitter than it is Instagram. Because, it just is. Yeah, we're happy to be talking about stuff for you. If there's any new jerseys, any new logos, let us know, and we will may or maybe not talk about them. Woo!
Yeah.
Mailbag.
No, we're not doing mailbag.
Mailbag!
The Jersey Nerds podcast is a production of Jersey Nerds Media. The Jersey Nerds are Beepo, Hunter, Justin, Chris, and Noah. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at _Jersey Nerds and hit that link in our bio to find our blog, our Discord channel, our online store, and more. And be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to us. We really appreciate it. From the Jersey Nerds to you, thanks for just listening to a podcast about you.